Surrender now, and your death will be painless.
Stop! Why are you doing this?
I need blood to survive.
For what purpose?
Because I'm a vampire. And vampires have sickle cell disease, a genetic disorder where the hemoglobin in our red blood cells is coded wrongly. It makes our blood cells weaker and able to carry less oxygen.
And what happens if you don't drink my blood?
Then I will feel sick. I may experience a stroke, anemia, or even acute chest syndrome. The lack of oxygen in my bloodstream will prevent all of my organs, especially my liver, kidneys, and heart, from getting the oxygen they need. And I'm not the only one who feels like this. Studies show that 1 in 365 African Americans in the US are born with sickle cell disease, and 1 in 13 African Americans in the US are born with the sickle cell trait.
That sounds horrible, especially since sickle cell disease is autosomal recessive, meaning that both parents need to have the genetic mutation in order for their child to have the disorder.
Yes, yes, it's a tragedy, which is why I must drink your blood. I have to get healthy blood in my system to counteract the blood with the sickle cells.
Ah, so what you're effectively doing is a blood transfusion, one of the most popular methods of treatment for your disorder.
Wait, there's a treatment?
Yes, there are multiple in fact, such as bone marrow transplants, hydroxyurea, and gene therapy. Sickle cell diseases have been affecting us humans for thousands of years. In fact, King Tutankhamun is theorized to have suffered from the same disorder as you, and historical groups such as the Black Panther Party have fought to raise awareness for the condition. You know what? Before you decide to drink my blood, how about I explain some of the science behind it?
11 minutes later.
Allow me to explain how sickle cell disease occurs. You see, the HBB gene, which codes for hemoglobin, the protein that makes blood red and allows red blood cells to carry oxygen, is located on chromosome 11p15.5.
Okay, I think I sort of get it. So the gene determines how the protein is made, right?
Exactly. And when a mutation occurs to change the gene's coding, the shape of the protein changes too, affecting how well it can do its job.
Earlier, you said something about it being autosomal recessive. What does that mean?
Autosomal recessive means that both parents have to carry the mutated gene trait in order for their child to have the disease. If, if they only carry the trait, they won't have the disease, but will be able to pass it down to their children. And even if both parents have the trait, it isn't guaranteed that they will pass it down. Here, let me draw a model for you. Here you can see how the sickle cell trait is passed down. If both parents have it, then the children have a 1 in 2 chance of getting the trait, but not the disease. They also have a 1 in 4 chance of simply not inheriting the trait, but also a 1 in 4 chance of inheriting the disease.
Ah, it's just like the Punnett squares I learned when I was in school 600 years ago. Wow, I didn't realize how simple this was. How does the treatment help people like me who have the disorder?
As mentioned earlier, blood transfusions allow more healthy blood to enter the bloodstream, and hydroxyurea, a type of medicine, prevents more sickle cells from being produced. The most interesting one, however, is gene therapy. You see, by going into a patient's DNA and changing it to the desired sequence, then letting it reproduce in the body, you can potentially cure many genetic disorders, including sickle cell disease. This is something that my company CRISPR Therapeutics have been working on for years.
Wow, you're saying that it's possible for me to get better and stop living off of blood?
While the science is still being worked on, the future's looking bright for people with sickle cell disease. You know what? If you let me go back home safely, then I can schedule an appointment for your gene therapy session.
Fine, I'll let you go. But you have to promise me that you'll help.